sky, above the clouds, where all the stars are circling around with you. Take me to the ground and get me a pair of red roses in the garden with a full of blooming.
Okay, so the first thing, okay, first of all, let's add a plane so that you can have a surface S10. Let me enable my screencast keys. Where is it? Let me enable the add-on. Edit preference add-on. No wait, what? Install documents add-on. Screencast keys. Install add-on. Anyway, alright, this is it. So so now the first thing you would like to do, let's go to the animation viewport view. So now let's collapse one of these and make it a view. Do I have cameras in here? Let me enable the camera. Let me add a camera to the scene. Okay, so Alt R RX 90. Why is it not showing here? Show. What? Alright, let's go back to layout and see. Okay, G Y. Let's add a place so you can see. Wait. Join areas. So let's put this. Take it up. Show. I think I already have a camera here. Okay, so the first thing you will do is move the time scroller to where you want your animation to end. Let's try 500. So move it back here. So you have to select all these parts except all the parts of the furniture. You have to select it. So you have to select this all together. You can select all the parts all together by, let's hide this one for now. What to hide again? Let's hide this one. So you can select all the parts together by pressing A to select all. Then press G. This is when you are going. This is where you are going to start your animation at the last frame. So to add a frame, add another keyframe, you go to select location and rotation. So this is where you want to add your keyframe on frame 100. So by how to add keyframe, location, and you select location and rotation, because I want to move it, and not only move it, I also want to rotate it. Like this place, I want to move it in the animation. Also here I want to move it separately, and then I also want to be able to rotate it. If I don't insert location and rotation, I wouldn't be able to move it or rotate it. If I should select only location, I will only be able to move this in the animation, and I won't have the power to rotate it. So you have to select both of them so that you can do both at the same time. Alright, so we have to add some, we have to apply some add-on, because as you can see, this is mirrored, and it's going, as I move this, it moves up, it goes to the opposite side. So let's go to the add-ons, apply mirror. Here we go. So now let's separate these parts. Alt A to deselect everything, then just L. Let's see, L, select one part, and P, let's choose separate by selection. So when you press P, is it P or Control P? Let's see, let me go back again. P, yeah, when you press P, it means you want to separate something. So you can separate by selection, separate by loose part. So what I did here was to separate by selection, and you can see they are all separate meshes. So now what you want to have to do is, to make the origin point of the object to, you want to make it at the center of the object. So this yellow dot here is the origin point. You can see it flying. So it's not where it's supposed to be, because we are making animation. We want it to be at the center of the object we are animating. What we are going to do is come to object, set origin. Let's say set origin to geometry, because that's where we want it to be. And now here you have it. It's the origin is attached to the geometry. So let's move it. You can see it. You can see the origin here. Let me zoom it. You can see the origin point is here. So yeah, let's Control Z and take it back to where it was before. So why I moved the origin point is because I want to have the power to rotate this and not have any problem. Like I want to be able to rotate it right from the middle. But the problem with not taking the origin point to the middle of the object is because when you want to like rotate it, you can see what it's doing. It doesn't give me the free will, the absolute free will to like rotate it in the way I want to. Like you can see the difference when I select this. I can just like, you can see it's rotating on a spot, but then this, it wants to travel. Like, where are you going, man? Where are you going? Like, I want you to rotate on a spot. I don't want you to travel. So that is why we apply the origin point to the object. So we go again, go to geometry, set geometry, origin to geometry, and there you have it. Now it's not going to travel, I guarantee you that. I bet my $1 on this. No, actually my 5 naira. So let's go, double when you select R, it means rotate, just like it doesn't give you like much of preview, but you can see it's rotating from the origin point and it doesn't travel. So you can also click double R, then you can rotate around 360 anywhere. It's so flexible. Yeah, alright, back to our animation. So the first step to do, if you remember, I said you have to select all the objects. Let's see if it's anything also mirrored. I don't want us to have any weird problems while animating. Alright, as you can see, I modeled a lot of parts separately, and the reason is because I want to be able to animate them also separately. Alright, I think this is mirrored. Wow, we're going to have a long time. Okay, I think I've removed the mirror wheel. Okay, but there's also another problem with this, if you can guess. You know what the problem is? Also the origin and not in the middle of some of these knobs, nuts, screws. What are they named? I think these are knobs, right? So we want the origin to be at the middle of this. So we are going to also set origin to geometry. So let's go object, set origin to geometry. To also this one, set origin to geometry. Also this one, set origin to geometry. This, set origin to geometry. Where is this one again? This, oh, this is time consuming and boring, but we have to do this, man. We have to do this. That's one thing with Blender, you just can't manually do everything by a click. The AI is not just good enough. Origin to geometry. Alright, there are some knobs also here at the back of the bench. Alright, I think let's just do it anyways, just to make sure. Set origin to geometry. Origin to geometry. Origin to geometry. Origin to geometry. Alright, so the method I'll be showing you now, it's the method for the animation I'm going to be doing now. The method I'm going to show you now, it's not the most efficient, but also for basic level it's nice. I mean, you're going to achieve what you want to achieve. Actually, the best method will be using animation node, like you asked me the other time, but we're not going to be using animation nodes. We are going to be manually doing everything part by part. Yeah, you have to go through that pain. Animation nodes, it will be efficient, it will be easy, it will be fast, but it's not for beginners. I'm a beginner. So there you have it. But if this object has many parts, like 100 knobs, and this part where you sit on the bench is like 50, and then here also the support is like 20, well, I guess the best thing to do is to use animation nodes, but we don't have so much parts on this model. So the best suggestion right now will be just to manually do everything part by part. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so sorry, I'm making too much noise. Alright, let's just start it. Right, if you remember, I said let's insert the animation. So let's insert the keyframe. Just what we are going to do now is insert the keyframe at you see this is the timestamp. So I want to insert the keyframe at 500. Yeah, so this thing I'm moving is the time scroller, and this is the timestamp, and you can see these are the numbers. So I'm going to move the time scroller to 500. Yeah, so this is where I want to start my animation. Yes, we can actually start our animation from the last keyframe. Alright, so let's go. So let's go. I insert location and rotation, and here we are. Alright, so wait, let me check something. Go back to Blender. Here we have it. We have all the parts here. It has already stick to this frame. So even if I shall move this here and move this, you can see it doesn't want to stay here. So if I should move the timestamp, you can see it goes back to where it is. That is what we want to have. We want it to stick to this frame right here. Alright, so let's go to the first frame. Yeah, let's try to go to the first frame. I'm not going to be doing everything I did in my animation, but I'm going to be showing you like some parts. Like this is a preview, this is not like a walkthrough tutorial. Alright, so what part do you think we should move first? I don't want to start my animation. Okay, let me start my animation at frame 10. You can see you can also choose this place and write the digits you want your time scroller to be at. Alright, so I want to start at frame 10. Okay, my laptop is a bit slow. Let me stop what I'm rendering right now. Pause. Okay, so let's go. Alright, let's bring back the plane. Where was the plane? Let's see, out H. Alright, this is the plane. So let's drop this on the ground, like let me zoom in a little bit to make sure it's on the ground. Yeah, so let's go to the top view. Also try to rotate this somewhere. If you remember, why I can also grab it, move it, and also rotate it is because I inserted location and rotation. Always have that in your the back of your mind. Okay, so let's go back here again. Let's move this one to this part, rotate it here. Nope, yeah, this looks opposing to the other one. Alright, so let's take it down, make sure it's touching the plane. Alright, so let's go this one. Where should we have this one? Where do you want to have it? Let's see here, rotate GZ. Nope, Alt R. Alright, so let's have it here. Let's rotate it a little bit so that this part is also touching the floor. Yeah. Ooh, this is what we have. I mean, of course we can't have it like this. It's not a monk. It's not like doing a handstand. So we have to make sure this place is also touching the floor. You know, parts of benches just can't do handstands. That's sad. Alright, there we go. We also have to rotate it a little bit just to give some dynamism to our animation. We don't want it to just be stiff, you know. Right, so here we go again. Let's also rotate this. Let's rotate this to make sure it's opposing to the other side of the other leg of the bench. Alright, so let's go like this. And yeah, if you want also this place to be touching the ground, the floor, no problem. Let's rotate it at x-axis, take it a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so this is the last part. Where should we have it? Here. Alright, Alt R, nope, Control Z, X, yeah, let's take it to the floor, make sure it's touching the floor. Yeah, alright, so where should we do this? Now to the time consuming part. Oh my god. Alright, let's move this also to the floor. Okay, let's move this here. G, this is going to take whole day. Alright, move it again, move it. Right, G. Okay, there we go. We have moved, we have successfully moved one part of the knots. So let's continue. One go. How many to go? Alright, we are not about to start counting. Alright, like this. Rotate, rotate. Alright, let's try to rotate this here. Okay, there we go. Alright, meaning this part, and this is so slow. You know, we can, there's a way we can make this faster by using physics, but it takes a lot of resources, and I want to be able to optimize my scene, because to be honest, my laptop not that strong. I don't want it to cry. Alright, let's go and make sure it's touching the floor. You know what, I'm just going to be dragging them to the floor. It doesn't have to be perfect, as long as we get what I'm doing, the idea of how I was able to achieve the animation. It's cool. Then when it's your turn to do something with this, you can make them as you want. You can rotate them and just grab them, drag them to wherever you want. Or you can while watching this video, if you want, you can skip this part. I won't be offended if you skip this part, because this part is just, you're just like, actually you are wasting your time if you are watching this part here, watching me how I'm moving this from part to part. But it's no problem. If you want to waste your time and hear my very cool voice, it's no problem, you can. Alright, let's go again. This here, yeah, aha. Let's move this again. There you go. So again, let's hide this. Select everything here. Location and rotation. And now, don't worry, you're going to see the trick. And there you go. They are slowly getting up, building up. Oh, it's passing through here. It's going through the ground, but no problem. Oh, this is too slow. This is too slow. So if you want it to be a little bit, yeah, now you can see every part goes back and they assemble each other. Alright, so now let's try to clean up the animation, make it a little bit better. Alright, and I hope you are beginning to get the idea. Alright, so let's go. Wow. So what to do now? So let's hide this again, because I don't want to be, you know what, we can actually disable selection here, so that whenever I like Control A, it doesn't affect the ground. Like I select all, but I was not able to select the plane, because I choose to disable the selection for the plane, that is the ground. Alright, so because this animation is just too slow, let's move it to let's move the key frames to 200. Now you're going to see it's going to be fast and you won't waste your time looking at it. Now you can see the knots. Yep, there you go. So to make all of these parts on the air, we just have to move this like this. I selection rotation, and yeah, this is all. This is it. First it goes up, then it starts building, and then you have it. It's put together. So yeah, if you also don't want this part to like pass through each other, you can see they are you can see this is not supposed to have, they are not supposed to overlap each other. So if you want to do that, you can choose this, all the knots, no wait, only the knots, and make sure their animation is slower. You don't want it together, you don't want it to happen the same time with alright, there you go. Wait, let me see. Alright, so if you want, you can have them here so that this finish building up and then the rest follows through. Alright, so here we go. You can see the knots are no longer overlapping, they are waiting for it to build up. Yeah, now everything it's done, and here you go, you have a beautiful animation. Now all you have to do is to start animating your camera. So let's just animate one camera. Let me see. So this is our camera. Let's delete this plane, I don't think I need it. So yeah, let's start to make animation for my camera. Let's GUI. I'm going to be animating two camera. I'm going to show you some tricks. I don't know if you know, but it's worth knowing if you don't know. So let's give the camera a more cinematic view, a more cinematic look. As you can see here, the resolution is just like squared. We don't want that. We want it to be a little bit more appealing. So we can come here, let's give this 19, 20. Alright, no, let's give this 19, 20 by 10, 80. Now there you go, you have the rectangular resolution, the rectangular box. Oh, alright, so let's move this backwards. Yep. Too much. Now the focal length is just too much. Let's take it to 95. If you want to know about focal length, I won't be able to explain it now because it will take most of the time. But if you don't know about focal length and you want to understand it, you can ask me, I will explain. Alright, so let's put it here. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, this frame you can see the parts are going up. So let's say we had enough, we want to see, so yeah, let's go, or let's just, like, you can here on the camera view, like when you've clicked 0 to view your camera, so 0 to view inside your camera, you can actually press G and middle mouse button, like the middle mouse button, the one you use to scroll, you can press G and then click on the middle mouse button and then drag it out. You can see it's dragging out on y-axis, then you press G, Z, move it a little bit. Yep, so I want to like animate it to zoom in while it's rising up, so let's take it backward a little bit more. GZ. So for this camera we're going to be only animating only the only the location, because we are not going to be rotating this. We don't need to rotate the camera. So we go, let's start here, location, and then go to frame 50, and then G, move close to the object location. As you can see, the camera is moving. So if you want to give the camera like a constant movement, you don't want it to slow down at the end, you can just T and add linear. Yep, and then here we go. Yeah, and then you have this happening. So if you want to maybe add another camera to add more dynamism to your animation, which is not necessary but it's fun, it's amazing, you can. So let's come here. So let's go back to the camera actually. So let's press M to add a marker. Why the marker? Because we want to attach the camera to the marker. Don't worry, when we get to where we are, you will understand. So bind cameras to markers. So let's move here. Alright, so let's move here. Also, let's add another camera to our scene. Yep, another camera. Cameras. Yep. So M, if you remember. Let's add a marker. Bind camera to markers. Bind camera to markers. So let's go. So you can also click on Control Alt 0 on your numpad, and there you have it. You just automatically put your camera to face the angle your viewport is looking at. So let's go here. You want to see on this side, you want to see like the nails coming and entering this side. Alright, so let's go to viewport, camera viewport display. Let's increase this so that the other side will be darkened. Alright, there we go. So you can see it's moving, and then right now it will jump to this side, and then you can see. Yep. So there you have it. This is what I can show you now. Yeah, I might also drop a YouTube tutorial. This was fun, and I hope you understand. If you have problem with any part of the video, just ask me the question and I'll try to explain further.